What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in, man. This is the Wednesday episode of the Juicebox Cereals podcast. I'm one of your hosts, PK, and as always, I am joined by Homer Chris and Sleepy Bones Bryles. Fellas, how are y'all doing?
Man, it's been a pretty slow moving week. I mean, normally we get together on Thursday, but I kind of have a little league thing going on tomorrow night, so we're meeting a day early. All this fuss about this winter thing that's going down this weekend. So, I mean, besides that, it's been slow. Browse, how's your week going so far?
Yeah, good, man. And mine's been the opposite. It's been busy. So it's, we had a busy weekend here. Thank you guys for holding it down while we had guests in town. But other than that, yeah, it was really busy, honestly. And then, of course, I totally agree. We've got some big Little League business going down tomorrow. So I'm excited for that. But most importantly, I'm excited for the podcast tonight. PK, what you got going on, buddy?
Oh, unlike the Astros and their roster announcements, it's been very busy for me at work. So, but no, all in all, man, we're still in the middle of free agency, off season. What are we going to do with a couple of players? We're kicking the tires on a former Astro from a couple seasons ago. Getting to that, and then we had two more players today that were named into the Hall of Fame, part of that 2004 Astros team that made the first World Series. So let's get into all that stuff. Let's start with the news is that there's a little bit of interest going around in bringing back Christian Vasquez, right? Catcher that we had that we actually traded Wilyer Abreu for, I believe, right? Wasn't that the move that happened?
Right.
And so kicking the tires on that, obviously with the Caratini signing his free agency deal earlier in the week or over the weekend, it looks like you're going to at least kick the tires on Vasquez. So first thoughts on that. What do y'all think? We talked about Salazar being that backup. We're looking like the Astros wanted to stay pat, but they're at least going to see what's going on with Vasquez and see what that move is. So what do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I mean, like I don't hate it. I mean, it depends on what the money is, and if you pulled up his stats from last season, they're not very. I think he hit like 189. I mean, so I mean, I guess. I mean, like I don't know why they just don't give the backup job to Cesar Salazar and just take it from there. I mean, give the kid a shot and stop playing around. I mean, they just signed Carlos Perez like a couple of days ago, so there's your third catcher, your veteran third catcher that's going to start the season out in AAA. So I mean, give Salazar a shot. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Although, but then again, I would not hate it if they signed Vasquez. I mean, it's cool. All right, fantastic. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Well, Chris, you did call it as far as Caratini was concerned. He got $6 million, on a 2-year contract, 6 per, excuse me. And then now he's signing with Minnesota and he's got 7 per. So good for him. He did get that raise that you were talking about. But as far as Vasquez is concerned, I like him from a defensive standpoint. But from the same thing we've been talking about, or you were just talking about too, is like, he's more of a defensive catcher than he is going to be an offensive catcher. So, I was talking about Salazar a couple episodes ago and how he's been tearing up the Mexican leagues from a defensive standpoint. And then I was super excited and looked up all of his stats. And I was like, yeah, okay, well, he's hitting 210. So if you're hitting 210 in the Mexican leagues, and just with whatever the other stats they had listed were, that's not going to help out too much offensively. But from a defensive standpoint, yes, he's a fantastic catcher. So I think Vasquez does offer a little bit more offensively. He's at least showed that in the past. So I'm hoping that if they do try to kick the tires on him, that's going to work out. But, I'm not going to be upset if Salazar is a backup catcher either. So, we'll see what happens. Maybe they got a little bit more money to spend on, say, a bullpen piece, maybe an outfield piece that's going to be kind of low cost or something like that. But if they spend the money on the catcher, then hey, so be it. We'll see what happens. What do you think, PK?
I'm thinking that you're trying to improve the roster. Everything you're trying to do is improve the roster over and over and over again. You talked about Salazar stats currently in the Mexican League is 210. What does that translate to on the MLB? On the MLB was like a 190, 180. You know, don't need don't need a catcher that can't hit. So defensively, yeah, take it. You know, we need a defensive catcher. We talked about it, man, until like we've been blue in the face about the base runners galore just stealing sometimes with no throw. And then, you know, obviously that falls on the pitchers, obviously, to hold them, but still, you know, get younger, have Salazar be your backup, see what you have. You need to see what you have in him. If he's going to get as much playing time as Caratini did, not so much from a first base perspective, but just, you know, from the days off, from the Wednesday games that, you know, you're getting the B team, from the Sunday afternoon games, you're usually getting the B team. Get this guy as many at bats as you can get him to see what you really have in that player. Christian Vasquez thing, I was trying to pull some stats up. Don't really need to. I think it's like cool, right? Like I said, you're always trying to improve the roster, no matter what position that is. So I think they're just doing their due diligence on it. I don't really know if that's really in the cards to bring him in, because I like going young at Salazar and seeing what you have, right? So really what we're doing is we're kind of waiting to see if Walker Yannick is going to be the catcher of the future. You're finding like not a scapegoat, but a bridge, right? Before Yannick gets ready to be on the big boy squad. So yeah, I mean, cool story. Let's see what happens with it. I mean, I'm not going to be like furious if we do it. At the same time, I'm like, you know, I think we have other positions in need that we should probably be figuring out other than, you know, a backup catcher, you know, when you have technically you have one on the roster. So that's what I have on that one, man. But look, the Red Sox thing still getting traction, but there's still no news. I'm almost like over it. Either do it.
I can say this shit's wearing me out, man. Like I'm tired of like checking. Yeah, I mean, at this point, crap or get off the pot. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you would think. I honestly thought that the Mets trading for Robert last night would kind of speed this up. I mean, but really, it hasn't done anything. So I'm almost at the point right now where I'm over it. Just bring Paredes to spring training, and if it happens, great. Like, but I'm over it. Like, I'm over Snell Watch 2.0. Yeah, I'm over it.
Did you see the post that I tagged y'all in from Sleeper today?
Which one was that?
That was if Duran's. I know, Chris, you're going to say no, right? But if Duran's out of the thing, is out of the conversation, and Abreu is that piece, will you Abreu?
To get him back?
I mean,
to get him back.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I mean, Abreu obviously is younger, and I think he has at least one Gold Glove. Duran's the sexier name, to be honest with you. I mean, but if it's Abreu and you get more pieces, I mean, I guess I'm okay with that. I mean, like at the end of the day, like I said, we've put so much, and it's not just us. I mean, you see it over all the rest of the podcasts, all the rest of the other shows. I mean, we've beat this thing into the ground. This Boston trade for Paredes. I mean, so at this point, I've retracted what I said, where it's either Jared Duran or bust. Basically, it's a better outfielder than what we have, or bust. That's kind of where I'm at. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. What do you think, Ross?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with Chris. It's, you know, you and I don't always agree on everything when it comes to Astros baseball, but if
what are you talking about?
This one, I 100% agree with you. It's and what we hold all the cards. They're the ones that want Paredes. If they really want Paredes, then give us what we want. And if we're not going to get Duran or Duran, then yeah, exactly. Then you know what? Go ahead. Thank you very much. Thanks for playing, and we'll go from there. But no, we're not going to give you, you know, Paredes for the guy that we've already given you and like try to get him back. That doesn't make any sense at all. It's like, it's not like Boston is known as some organization that's going to, you know, just develop players that raw turn them into, you know, super Major League Baseball players and then trade them off. That's more of our gig, not their gig. And don't get me wrong, Boston's got a good team. They typically do, but they also typically don't develop that team. They typically buy it. So good luck with that. Yeah, Durant or bust. Sorry.
That should have been the title of the episode. Just Beltran gets the call / Durant or bust.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I like it.
So my answer to it, my response to that post was basically, look, Willier has had 1 year last year, right? Durant has been consistently over the last several years. Chris, you're right.
Well, hold on a second. I mean, because if we're talking about consistency, last season he had a kind of a fall off from 2 years ago. 2 years he was almost a 9-WAR player, and last year, I think last year he was like 4, which I know that you compare that to Jesus Sanchez, that might as well be 74. But
exactly.
I mean, but what I'm saying is that like I get where you're coming from. Oh boy, I get where you're coming from.
Easy.
I'm just saying like he did kind of have a kind of a down season last year compared to the year he had in 2024.
But
fair. Carry on.
I'm just saying the ask is too much for me. If it's Willier for Paredes, that ask is too much, right? It's Durant, like you said, Bryles. That's where I'm at. So I think I would want to see another productive season from Abreu, before you. I mean, not that. I mean, like Paredes prior to, and I know this is all, it's all what if. But if Paredes doesn't get hurt, he's on pace for 30 bombs at third base for you, easy. You see what I'm saying? And so like the Willier thing is like he was a great season last year. Paredes was an all-star prior to us. Would have been an all-star this year had he not got hurt. So I think the ask is you're giving up more than what you're getting back. Is how I look at it. So we'll continue to see. What happens with Boston. Go ahead, bro.
We'll be on Durant watch.
Paredes is built for Dakin Park. I'm telling you, hitting it into the Crawford boxes is his momentum, man. I'm telling you, man, that guy is built for this team. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I understand they got the, that big green wall out there that everybody loves to talk about. But at the same time, like I'm telling you, man, he's built for Dakin. That's where he needs to stay unless we get something that's kind of an overreach for Boston. That's the only thing I can say.
Well, you've got the short porch at both stadiums, obviously, right? Except us, we have a 20-foot wall, and they've got like a 60-foot wall on a porch. So you're right. I mean, either way, it's still he's still built for Dakin Park. But yeah, continue to watch. Let's see what else is going on around the league. I think Lewis Roberts signed with the Mets, right? Was that
he got traded to the Mets?
So they got their outfielder. See, Tucker's going to wear 23. A nod to Uncle Mike, apparently. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
No.
Yeah, he's gonna wear 23.
Either way,
as a nod to Uncle Mike for being a mentor.
Only because he can't wear 30 because that's Dave Roberts' number.
Right. Well, either way, I really don't give a shit. I just saw it, and so I thought it was funny.
I mean, I did see the video that he made saying, "All right, hey, I'm here in LA. Let's go win another one." I'm like, really, to be fair, they won the first 2 without you. So it's like, hey, can y'all take me for the ride so I can win my second one?
That's correct.
That's what it should be.
Hey, I just saw my bank account got juiced. So let's go win one.
Yeah. Yeah. That first check is officially cleared. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Now I can pimp out the red and white or the blue and white.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame announcement today. 2 former Astros. Old Bryles is rocking the brick red 2000s jersey and the lid. Right, Beltran gets the nod. Andrew Jones gets the nod, not an Astro, obviously, but he gets in. And then Jeff Kent on the Contemporary Era Committee. Didn't know that was a thing. That is a thing. Did y'all know that was a thing?
I have no idea. I mean, I feel like there's so many committees. But yeah, I mean, so hearing that Beltran got in, I had a mixed feelings, and I looked at. I'm not 100% convinced that Beltran is a Hall of Famer, and here's why. I feel like a lot of people. I mean, he played for 20 years. I mean, but really honestly, he had like maybe 3 really good seasons. I understand everyone's going to remember him for the playoffs that he did for the Astros in 2004. I just feel like he should be in the Hall of really good. I don't think he was a Hall of Fame because I didn't think he put up the those type of numbers consistently. Um, but then the other take that I had from this whole from him making it is I think officially Major League Baseball no longer cares about the trash can banging scandal because I mean for him to be the what did they say that Beltran was the originator.
Yeah,
He was the one
Architect,
that
like
he was the architect of it.
kingpin of
And I
it.
don't
Like he's the one
remember.
that started it or brought it
Yeah,
over
he's
from
the one that
the
started it.
Yankees.
And he just like I said, what is this his first year on the ballot, I think? Or maybe last year was? Because he retired. Did he retire after yeah, he did retire. No. When did he retire? Did he retire right after 2017
I
or did he play
have
another season?
17 as
Okay. So this
pretty
would
sure
be his
17 was his last season.
no.
because you have to
Baseball
wait.
Reference has his
You have
last
to wait.
stats of 17.
Okay, so but you have to wait 7 years after you
5
retire to
years.
become eligible for the Hall of Fame. Is it 5 or is it 7? I thought it was 7. I'm sure somebody will tell us
5.
in the chat. Either way, if it's 5, then
Yeah.
it took him 4 years to get the nod. If it's 7, it took him 2. So I mean, it's just kind of like portrays that message that yeah, we really don't care about this whole trash can thing because of how quickly Beltran got into the Hall of Fame. So, which then kind of upsets me on a baseball fan level because if you're going to let Beltran in, then you might as well let Clemens, Bonds, A-Rod, all them dudes in. So, I think they waited till
Really?
Pete Rose died to put him in. Yeah, absolutely. And here's why I'll tell you. Okay, here's why. McGuire, another one. So after the 90, and here we go. We're going to go grandpa baseball story. So y'all might want to get comfortable. So after the 94 strike, I mean, baseball was almost pretty much dead. You know, that was a killer for the league. And then what did you have 4 years later? Just like two or 3 years later after they came back, the thing that basically saved baseball, and that was the home run chase between McGuire and Sosa. That single-handedly saved baseball. And then all of a sudden, the baseball officials, because, you know, what upsets me is that they reaped all the benefits of them using the steroids and all that stuff. But then all of a sudden, then they turn their back. Bond's another one. So that's why I think now you're starting to see guys like Pete Rose go in. Now you're seeing Beltran go in, who like I've heard some of the writers call this trash can scandal like one of the most sickening, scandals of all times. Yet he gets in anywhere from 4 years to 2 to 4 years after he retires. So all I'm going to say is that as a baseball fan, Bonds needs to go in, Clemens needs to go in, McGuire needs to go in. Quit fronting. Let these guys in.
They didn't give you a vote?
They did not. They did not give me a vote.
And I didn't know if they did or not. What do you think, Browse?
Nope. Nobody on this panel has a Hall of Fame vote as of yet. We're working on it.
That's
though.
right.
Anyway, yeah, the Beltran one's kind of weird because he kind of crossed between both scandals. Like he was there at the beginning of the steroids, and then he was there at the end when everybody was cheating, and I know the Astros caught a whole lot of that in 2017, and we were the scapegoats of everybody. But let's put it this way. If you remember that Beltran came over from the Yankees, and he was the architect saying, hey, by the way, the Yankees are the ones that are doing this unbelievable job of cheating, and you guys need to catch up. So that was part of it. The other part of that was the fact that the first person he went to was Alex Cora and said, hey, Alex, guess what, guys? We need to get on this and actually start, getting our analytical skills in on this. So, I agree. I am very torn on this. Don't get me wrong. When we traded for Beltran in 2004 and got him from the Royals, he went on. Was that 4 or 5? That was 4, right?
Four.
That was 4.
It was 4.
Yeah. So he went on the biggest tear that I have ever personally seen of any baseball player in the playoffs. You could not get the dude out. It was unbelievable. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, we're going to re-sign this dude. It's going to be amazing, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And then the Mets threw out a deal for like 102 million. We threw out a deal for like 98 million, same years. And for some reason, he doesn't understand what state taxes mean, and then went to the team where good players go to die. So good job with that. So let's be honest, his years in with the Mets were pretty mediocre after that, and then he did kind of revive his career. So I do. I could see both sides of it, but at the same time, if you want to like put a gun to my head, I really don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I think he's just like Chris said, he's the Hall of pretty good. And if he would have chose something, I think other than the Mets for maybe his prime years in baseball, and I'm not saying just with the Astros, I would love to say he would have played for us and we would have gone on playoff runs after and after and after and after that again. But if he would have even gone with a contender, then I think that would have been a little bit better for him. And at this point, I think he got in because of kind of lack of other talent around him. So, PK, what you got?
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at his stats on Baseball Reference. So in 04, when we got him, when he was with us, was 90 games. He hit 23 home runs, 53 RBIs, which the RBIs were 2 more than he hit than he had with Kansas City in that season, and then the home runs were 8 more than he had with Kansas City. So he had 38 bombs, 104 RBIs. But it was that postseason that put him on the
playoff run.
Really put him on the map, right? It was like what, 8 bombs or something like that. I mean,
yeah,
disgusting. The diving catch he had at Minute Maid, like on one knee on against the Cardinals, obviously at home. Like I'll remember that for as long as I live, and that helped that run that we had before Jeff Blum and other players ruined it, right? But I mean, you go to the Mets, and Bros, you're talking about the Mets, like he went, and this is just home runs, right? 16, 41, 33, 27, 10, and 7. So you had 3 years of 25 plus home runs, right?
But think about that era, though. I mean, that era,
yeah.
there were how many dudes hitting 50 to 60 home runs every single year?
No, I get it. I mean, I didn't think his Mets tenure lived up to the amount of money that he was given at that point. And at that point, you're like, yeah, it sucks to be an Astros fan because we all were like, we're going to re-sign this guy, center fielder for the future, yada, 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 right? I mean, look, 27 bombs isn't anything to piss at. I mean, that's over 161, 33 over 144 games, 41 over 140 games. And I think like I kind of agree that he's not like that first ballot guy, obviously, but I don't think it's like 100% shoe in, even though it took him 2 to 4 years to get in, right? So, and then Chris, you brought the point about the 2017 and the whole scandal, and this is like this was the architect of it, and the other guys should get in. And I don't know if this is going to sound really dumb, but I still think that the guys that may or may not have saved baseball, McGuire, Sosa back in '98. Then you had the Bonds run after that, the whole Clemens debacle, Palmeiro, all the things. I still think that those group of guys are in a completely different conversation other than Beltran and what he may or may not have been tied to, with the Yankees and what he brought to Houston. It is definitely a hypocrisy for the league because a cheat is a cheat, right? So I agree with you, Chris, that if they allowed them to cheat or knew about the cheating, but the ratings were up and the viewership was back and it saved baseball, you can't turn your back on them. It's complete hypocrisy, right? So I still don't know if I'm on board with the, super steroid guys getting in. I mean, maybe that's another episode for another time, but
yeah, because we could talk about this for another 20 minutes. I mean, to be honest with you.
So Beltran's in. He's probably gonna. Who's he going in as? Probably the Mets. I would assume.
I don't know. Like he's played on 27 teams because like he had the Royals, the Astros, and the Mets. And
he
then
can't go in
I think after the
Chris, can you name all the teams? You have to.
I think so. I think I can name all the teams. So Royals, Astros, Mets, Yankees, Rangers, St. Louis, the Giants, and then the Astros again. I feel like did I say the Cardinals
it.
already? Because they're
Yeah, that's
yes,
it. You got them.
yeah, the Cardinals too.
It would have been
So
more
I think
impressive
he
if
should
you
go
could
in.
have rattled off the years, but it's okay. You knew
Oh,
all the teams.
Yeah,
But
I think to be a gangster, he should go in as an Astro.
Oh, 1,000%.
No,
1,000.
I was just saying, but considering that he got labeled as the manager of the Mets, and then this whole scandal broke out, and they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you were behind it. Oh, guess what? You don't get to be the manager of the Mets." He was the manager of the Mets for like what, 4 days,
4
and
seconds.
then that was
I don't even think. Yeah, it was something super quick.
Yeah.
So I think for that even alone, it's like, how did the Baseball Writers Association actually put him in? That's the thing that blows my mind, even if it's just for that one moment.
And the thing is like it takes away from the other dude that was voted in Andrew Jones, and the badass that he was starting at 18 years old, right? Because people are talking about Beltran and the 17 scandal and all the things, like the same conversation we're having, and it's taken a little away from, like, Andrew Jones came out of the Braves dugout as a beast at 18 in Yankee Stadium in the World Series, right, and never looked back, right? I mean, that dude was filthy. Could hit, cannon arm, covered the whole outfield. I mean, filthy. So, okay, so Jeff Kent, the other Astro, that's 4 Astros from that 2004 squad, right? Jeff Kent goes in. What are your thoughts on that one? Even though it was a competitive era committee, what are your thoughts on that one?
I mean,
I believe he's the all-time leader for second baseman in home runs. I believe
okay,
I've read that.
Outside of, I mean, I guess that has to be the saving grace, because, like, again, he's another one that, like, I mean, and the I don't want to call it the best part, but, like, the biggest part about this era, these next 4 or 5 years of guys getting inducted or getting or up for induction, is the fact that we're at the age now we've seen all these guys play from their MLB debut to, like, we're the old guys now, because now we've seen all these guys play. We've seen their entire career, and and Kent's another one. I mean, I just feel like, I mean, I get he's hit the most home runs by a second baseman. I mean, but you take that away, and I think he's a hall of, really good. That's just kind of, I mean, was his numbers better than Ryan Sandberg? No. I mean, so is his numbers better than Biggio? I mean, they're a little bit different because he's more of a power hitter than Biggio was, but Biggio is more of a complete player. I mean, so I just think that he's another one that's just a hall of, like, really good. And, yes, he'll go down as the second baseman for now with the most home runs. But is he Hall of Fame worthy, in my opinion? I'm going to say no. But I don't have a vote, so there you go.
Yeah, it's good for Jeff Kent.
Yeah.
Jeff Kent came over from the Giants to the Astros, supplanted Biggio into center field. He got one good hit, and then after that said that the only reason he plays baseball is because he's good at it and he gets paid well for it.
He's being honest.
And then he fell out of a deer stand.
And he fell out of a deer stand. That is my opinion, and that is all.
Well, I mean, he's the one that made Biggio faceplant to Taos Hill, right? Because Biggio's out there playing center field, being a team player. I mean, look, I agree. This one to me is more of definitely the hall of really, really good. I mean, you've got the stat of the all-time leader for home runs by second baseman. You're really good. Like, you're really good. Now, I don't really see it as a, Hall of Fame, but I'm also a guy that doesn't play baseball professionally, and I do a podcast. So what the hell do I know? But he'll go in as a Giant, more than likely. I would assume he'd go in as
he has to.
1,000%. So that's your 2 guys that got inducted to the Hall of Fame, aside from Andrew Jones, which was a no doubter, right, on that one. We can all agree to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2004, man, you had a squad. You had a squad there. You had I was looking at it earlier. You had, this is just key players from that team. Lance Berkman with 30 home runs, Beltran with 20 plus, Biggio with 20 plus, Jeff Kent with 107 RBIs, Royo with 20 wins, Roger Clemens with 15 wins. I mean, you had a freaking squad. And if it wasn't for Jermaine Dye lying that he got hit on his hand and got the extra base, because it was clearly a foul ball, Kanoko wouldn't have hit the grand slam, right? When we were in Chicago, I think that was game 2. And then
I think that was 2005. I think that was 2005. 2004. Yeah. 2004, they lost in the NLCS against St. Louis
Cardinals.
That was yeah, you're right. My bad. Still, either way.
I mean, either way, screw Jermaine Dye.
Jermaine never let die. If he's listening.
Yeah.
Lied. He lied.
Liar.
But all right, man. Well, that's gonna take us out of this episode, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope you guys are having a great week. Halfway there to the weekend. It's gonna be cold this weekend. Chris, good luck with your baseball stuff. Bryles the same way. We'll be back, I would assume, on Sunday. Get this thing going. And listen, y'all be paying attention. We've got some big news coming out regarding the show here soon. We'll let you know when that's happening. So make sure you pay attention. Again, thank everyone for tuning in every week, showing us support. We really appreciate it. But until then, man, I'm PK. That's Homer Chris. That's Bryles. And this is the Juicebox Heroes.
Berkman got robbed for the haul, man.
I can't believe he's not in, man. Wild. Wild.
I'm telling you, we could do a whole episode on just complaining about the Hall of Fame.